Shut up and sit down.
Welcome once again to the Shite podcast show. Mark and Ken.
What's up?
Episode 159 of the Shite podcast show. Nearly at 160. It's not our milestone.
No, it's what, 204?
Yeah, 204.
Yeah.
So 44 away. 45 away.
45.
Yeah, so close. So close. So close. Damn close. Never do maths.
That's the closest you've ever been.
Yeah, that's very true. I've also been slagged in work over my poor math skills. That I can do some really complicated maths, but I can also then fuck up the basic, like 2 grade maths quite easily. They've seen me do both. It's like
that counts as bullying. That counts as workplace bullying.
Workplace bullying, yeah. I'm putting in a complaint. Tomorrow, I'm going to complain. You probably told to shut up.
Probably. You'll probably be told your maths is shite.
Your maths is shite. And yeah, it'll be way good reason. Maths is good when it's complicated. We're in a mini heat wave this week.
Yeah, it's more humid though than like proper sunbathe heat.
It is making recording a podcast indoors quite uncomfortable. Right now, I'm sitting on top of my bed. I have to have the windows closed because obviously there's going to be noise outside. So it's not that aerated in here. On this, I think it's 24 degrees Celsius. I don't know if that is Fahrenheit, but it's mildly humid. And it's kind of sweaty armpits weather. If I was to describe it to anybody, it's clammy.
That's a fair description.
Yeah, it's kind of like, do you know what? For September, we can't really, mid-September, we can't really complain. It's better than rain and cold, which we thought we'd be getting.
Do you ever notice that? Like that's the thing Irish people say all the time. We can't really complain. But then they usually proceed then to complain.
Yeah. They previously go on about giving out about the weather and say, oh, Jesus, well, we can't really complain. At least it's not raining.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, you're complaining about the fucking heat.
Yeah, you just complained 5 minutes ago. It's very frustrating when it's sunny for more than a week in Ireland and people go up there and go, you'd miss the rain, wouldn't you?
Well, I would miss the rain. I don't mind the rain.
Ken is one of those people who say that.
Yeah, I don't mind the rain. It started kind of as a thing in work, like when all the owl ones be coming in and saying, the weather is lovely. And you'd be like, oh, fuck off. No, I miss the rain. Just
so they don't make conversation. Or do they go, they feel awkward so they feel like they have to agree? And you go, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, or someone would go, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Just kind of fuck off. Like.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know what to respond to this comment you just made, so I'll just go with, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and I'm just going to leave now.
Awkwardly walking away, and Ken continues to stack the shelf.
Yeah, just like, yeah, off you go.
One of my friends has a guy in work who, anytime you ask him how his day is, he goes, horrific.
I don't. Like every time.
Yeah, it's horrific. Yeah, there's another word that you use, but horrific. But I think horrific is his go-to. I find that hilarious to the point where I was going to nearly adopt that kind of mantra of anytime someone asks me how my day is, I was going to go horrific.
And regardless of whether he's having a shite day or not.
Yeah, you just go horrific. Or bleak. Bleak is the other word. He goes bleak. Bleak sounds worse than horrific, to be honest with you, doesn't it?
Bleak's a good word.
Bleak is like the point where you're like just about to jump off a bridge. You're like, this is like, oh, it's bleak. You're like, that bridge is looking very tempting to me.
That's a good word.
Yeah, it is. It's solid. Like horrific and bleak are two brilliant words to describe you being absolutely miserable, in fairness to him.
Yeah.
He's picked excellent words to describe his depression.
Yeah, good solid words.
Good solid, not used enough words to describe his depression. But yeah, I wonder if it's just like like is it a humor thing with him, or if he actually is crying out for like help.
He's like, why does nobody help me?
Yeah, I keep telling him I'm in agony of like depression here. Help! And everyone's like, that's just Chris.
Yeah, this is him being horrific.
Yeah, that's his sense of humor. By the way, his name is not actually Chris.
It's Christopher.
Yeah, it would be Christopher now, wouldn't it? I don't know, if he listens to the show, he might feel a bit horrific of us talking about, and some of the things we're actually going to be talking about on the show today
are horrific.
Oh, there's a lot of horrific things, especially when it comes to our idiots news. We're going to be focusing quite heavily on gender reveal parties and why they are probably not the best thing to do right now or ever, really. We also have a woman who is married to a tree, and some American cops, or I guess custom agents, who ended up with egg on their face. I think it'd be a fair way to describe what happened to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also have stories that we didn't cover last week about a hair salon and about the former presenter of The Architect possibly being Banksy. This is an online theory that's going around, and in terms of all the theories that are around right now, this is the one that I want to throw my full support behind, and
Yeah,
I am
like
all
this.
in. I like this theory. I want this theory. I don't care about the facts that might prove it otherwise. I want this theory to be true so much that I'm just going to will it into existence, and that brings us quite nicely onto another story that we're going to be talking about, and that is about the power of attraction, Ken. My segues are on fire.
We're going to find out whether it works or not.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if the guy from Architect is
actually Banksy.
Yeah, exactly. If he suddenly turns into Banksy, if he's not Banksy already, because he is, then yeah, we know the power of attraction actually works. Because we're going to be talking about if we believe in the power of attraction, or if it is worth believing in. That's going to be coming up on the show as well today. So jam-packed show.
Yeah, as per usual.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of feel like Idiot's News is like, if it continues, it'll need its own theme song.
You're mad to get a theme song for a segment, aren't you?
I'd love a theme. I do love a theme song now, in fairness. Like, it does just, it sprinkles up the show. Just like people hear and go, oh, it's the time for Idiot's News.
It's what would the theme song be, Mark?
I don't know. It'd have to be, it's idiots. Hey, idiots. It's idiots news, you idiots. Something like that.
That's the theme song now.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody record that, put a banging beat to it, and send it to shitetalkpodcastshow@gmail.com.
For zero money.
Yeah, we'll mention you. We'll mention you sometimes when we play it.
Yeah.
We'll go, oh, by the way, that was from, Stephen.
Yeah, you'll get mentioned at least once.
Yeah, Stephen did that for us. And I sang it, and he did the beats. It was written by me as well. On episode 159 of the Shite Podcast Show. I definitely will forget what episode I mentioned it on, but I don't think that's important.
No, that's not important.
What is important is that we get to the bottom of this theory about Neil Buchman being
Buchanan.
Is it Buchanan?
Yeah.
Buchman is the way I was going to be. Okay, we'll go with Buchanan.
Buchman.
Buchman. It's Buchanan. Buchman.
Yeah.
And
Buchanan.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we'll go with Buchanan. Neil Buchanan, Art Attack, former presenter. He has been recently accused or linked to the mysterious graffiti artist Banksy, and it is a theory that has my full attention. It started basically that going online when someone posted it on Twitter saying their friend said they just seen Banksy and he looked very similar to the TV presenter of Architect. So this is basically that spark that led to this. And there have been other rumours of people saying that they've seen him and they couldn't be too sure if he looked like him or not, because you didn't see clear enough kind of image of Banksy when he was actually spray painting one of his pieces of art on a wall. So those two little kindles of like information is what kind of spread to this theory that Neil Buchanan is Banksy. What do you think of the theory, Ken?
I support it.
Yeah, I definitely think it's 100% true. Without flaws.
Yeah, even if it's not true, let it be Banksy. Yeah.
Now there are some doubters out there who maybe question if Neil is actually Banksy or not.
They're wrong.
They're wrong, first of all, but they point to an interview that a rapper who's associated with Banksy, who may have accidentally let Banksy's name slip. They did give the name of the rapper, but like I didn't last week's notes. I didn't put it down, so didn't bother getting it this week either. So in an interview, he was saying, "No disrespect to Rob, but I think he's a brilliant artist, and he flipped the art world over." So it's theorized that who he was talking about was Rob Della Ninja from Massive Attack, and he's been linked to the name Banksy before, back in 2016 in an investigation done by a journalist.
Yeah, is that just like guesswork though?
Yeah, well, this is like that theory that like Neil isn't Banksy basically goes off that your man was actually talking about Banksy and called him Rob, and the fact that Rob from a Massive Attack. So that in itself is a stretch. Now, the investigation done by a journalist back in 2016 didn't go into a whole lot of information on what that investigation actually came up with, or evidence that also linked Rob to the Banksy name. So it's still open for interpretation of who actually Banksy is. And there is another theory that goes around that says there's multiple Banksys.
Nah, there's only one Neil Buchanan.
Exactly. There's only one Neil Buchanan. In fact, multiple Banksys. Then it could be that Rob and Neil are both Banksy.
If there was multiple Banksys though, would they not have noticed like differences in the styles of the artwork?
Yeah, like surely like every artist do have their own styles. Like in order for there to be multiple Banksys, they would have had to like deliberately pick the style of art, and both of them all the artists basically they said we're gonna have all our art look exactly like this, which doesn't really go off what artists are meant to be creative. So they want to have their own spin on things. You imagine that uniform, like this is our style, this is how we're going to like express ourselves. Wouldn't really
goes against it.
Yeah, it goes against that kind of theory. So I wouldn't like the idea that there's multiple Banksys is questionable at best based off that. I think there were theories that Banksy was also a DJ and rapper, which we never knew. We don't know what Neil did in his spare time. He could have been a DJ.
He's in a heavy metal band.
Is he?
Yeah.
So he's also linked to music, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
His plot thickens.
Yeah, he's the guitarist in a heavy metal band.
What's the name of the heavy metal band?
Not a clue.
Oh.
I'll Google it.
But you know what? You know how Massive Attack, Art Attack,
yeah,
both of those things has the word attack in it. So if they were in collusion, both of them had attacked. Maybe that's the link that we need to tie this piece together.
Or what if he is actually the guy from Massive Attack as well?
Oh my god. Surely somebody would notice that both Neil and Rob look exactly the same.
No, nobody ever notices that Batman and Clark Kent, or Superman and Clark Kent look exactly the same.
That is very true.
They can do it with hair.
Yeah.
The band he's in is called Marseille.
Marseille. Oh, that's really interesting. And were they successful at all for metal scene?
They were the first ever band to win a UK Battle of the Bands in 1977.
That's some achievement.
Yeah. They broke up in 2012.
Oh, really? Maybe for Neil to go out onto his DJ career.
They were pretty big. They supported like Judas Priest and Whitesnake and shit.
Yeah. So I think we can fully believe in this idea that Neil Buchanan is Banksy without any theory. Enough evidence is there.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true. and
it's a fact now.
It's now a fact. Shite Talk Podcast Show has talked about it and has deemed it. We've done our investigation. We've looked at all sides of who possibly is Banksy, and we decided to go with our hearts. Maybe not our minds. Some might question our minds on this, but our hearts say Banksy is Neil Buchman, who was in a heavy metal band who broke up in 2012.
Yeah, it's definitely him.
Definitely him. All lines of inquiry may not lead to him, but in our eyes, they do.
Yeah, and he's definitely the guy from Massive Attack as well.
Yeah, exactly. He's also Rob. This is a new theory that we have, and
yeah.
I don't know. I don't personally know what Rob Del Ninja looks like in Massive Attack.
He kind of looks a little bit like Neil Buchanan.
Does he?
I just looked him up there, yeah, a little bit.
Let's fully dive into this theory that's definitely him. That's all we need. He looks sort of like
you're talking about like years ago when he still presented the Art Attack, but like the photo of him on Wikipedia, he kind of looks a little bit like him.
Oh my god, that's enough. That's enough for us. Right there, that is enough for us.
It's a Shite Talk fact.
It's a Shite Talk fact right there. So what is the story with hair salon? Because I have no notes about this, but this was a story that you were meant to cover last week. We ran out of time because we just had too much on our show. We got a little bit overzealous with our stories selection.
Yeah. So there's a hair salon in England last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they basically were looking for a new hairdresser. And the salon was forced to remove the ad because it was discriminatory against people. And I'll read, did we have the ad? Yeah, so the ad said, you can decide whether or not this is a discriminatory ad, right? So it just said, looking for someone with 5 years experience in a salon, as well as being confident in barbering, as well as all aspects of hairdressing. And this is a busy, friendly, small salon, so only happy, friendly stylists need apply.
Yeah, personally, I don't really find that too offensive in any way.
Yeah, so apparently it's discriminatory against people who aren't happy.
Yeah, but like, you know what? If you were to like discriminate against people from like an ethnic background, I kind of get that why that's wrong, and or even gender, I kind of get why that is wrong. However, there's certain things that you being a certain way does either make the job harder, or like, let's say if you smell and you work in a small office and you have very bad personal hygiene, person should be able to discriminate against you compared to say, oh, I'm not hiring that person, he smells, I'm going to go with somebody else.
Somebody who doesn't smell.
Yeah, exactly. We have to work very closely together. I don't want to be smelling them.
Yeah, like...
Or like if you're working very closely, if you're going to be working very closely to, and someone's like really negative. So the person who complained about this,
it just said she placed the ad in a local job center, and she got a phone call from the job center saying they could not run the advert due to the use of a discriminatory word. And then when she asked what the discriminatory word was, she was told that the word is happy. Oh,
really? So the ads company was like, no, that's discriminating against people who are like morbidly depressed.
Yeah, no. Like she asked, she's like, what's the problem with it? Like, and they said, you said it's a happy salon and only happy people can apply. The word happy is a discriminatory word, and we aren't allowed to use it. I can read you the rules on discrimination if you like, but it's a long document. Shall we just change the word in case somebody thinks they can't apply for the job because they're not happy?
Oh, really? Yeah. You know, like smokers, for instance.
Yeah.
I remember once asking my dad, who runs the business, can you put up the ad saying that no smokers may apply? And he's like, no, that's discriminatory against smokers. I'm like, first of all, they cost you more money.
Yeah.
Because they have to go on breaks. They constantly smoke at the van and you have to tell them not to smoke. So they're actually damaging the health of your other staff who don't smoke.
Did you know that if you as a non-smoker, if your work involves working in or around the van, they can't smoke in or around that van?
Oh no, yeah, which we tell them. I go, yeah, you just can't smoke around the van.
You also don't have a legal entitlement to a smoke break.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But you're gonna have to put up with a person who hasn't had a cigarette. Trust me, it's easier to let them have their cigarette. It's like it is easier, but like, do you know, it does. There is a financial cost to having a person who smokes compared to a person who doesn't smoke. And like, even I remember another one where I was like, insurance reasons, it's cheaper to insure a person over the age of 25 than under the age of 25. So, but you're not able to put up an ad saying one of the driver requirements must be that you're over the age of 25, even though it's cheaper. It's far cheaper for your business to employ a person who's over the age of 25 than under to drive, just for insurance reasons. So that person who is under 25, it's going to cost you thousands. Like, it's into the thousands more than it is to insure a person that's over the age of 25 than under the age of 25. So, like, there is a financial cost based off that person being like that age. So in terms of that, you should be able to discriminate against a person's age in that sense, because it's costing you money.
Yeah, well, like, I don't understand why insurance companies, like, remember they brought in a law that you can't discriminate against people because of their age when it comes to insurance and stuff now, or their gender, but they still do.
Oh, 100%. Like, especially gender. Like, I remember doing this when I was looking for an insurance company. I remember going, can you explain to me why my sister is getting a quote of €600 and you're quoting me over €1,000, and we have a very similar car, same liter car, and she goes, oh, it's their job entitled. So I was like, oh, so if I was a beauty therapist, it would be that low. And they're like, oh, well, no, it mightn't just because you were a beauty therapist. So I was like, well, what is it then? So your car is just a high bracket. And I was like, I don't see a difference between a 1.9 diesel car and another 1.9 diesel car. It's your car, and it was a Volkswagen Golf. It was the most common car in Ireland. And I was like, how is this in a high insurance bracket?
Yeah, like, it's just, you know, did you ever hear that ad for, I can't remember what insurance company it is, but they only insure women.
Oh, it's for women.
You know, there's another one as well.
Her.e or no, Her.e.
Yeah. Like, imagine having an insurance company that only insured men.
I think there is actually an insurance company that's like men's focused. I think they're the same company. There's just different branches. It's like, I think it's for lads.ie. There is a it's for lads.ie, like for young lads driving as well. There is actually one for that.
Because, like, that, surely that's like completely discriminatory.
Yeah, I think. No, I do think those insurance companies, you can insure your husband or your partner on your policy. Yeah, but like, if you rang up it's for women.ie, you can actually demand a quote, and they have to actually give you a quote. They can't refuse you based on your gender. So you could ring up it's for women and ask for a quote if you're a lad, and they legally would have to give you a quote. So, but lads don't, because it's for women. Like, if you imagine you went into like a building site at your work, say, oh, who are you in charge with? And you can go, oh, it's for women. Like, what'll probably happen is they'll give you a ridiculously high quote. So they won't give you a competitive quote to go, whatever you got, it'd be like £1,000. Let's say if you're going for about 800, it might be £1,000. They'll price themselves out of the market. But they'll give you a quote. So they can't actually refuse you because you're a man. They'll just not give you a competitive quote, and they'll base it on your car or your job or some other. They'll make up a reason why your quote is that high. Now, if you can get your wife or your girlfriend or someone you know who has the exact same job, or they put down the exact same job titles, same car, and she also gets the exact same match, but like it's far cheaper, and you have the similar like driving experience, everything's pretty similar, age and all that, then they'll go, oh, it's Like then you might be able to bring them to court. But it's like you're gonna have like an absolute fight on your hands to like prove that they discriminated towards you being a lad. Like it's gonna take like it's not worth a hassle. Then it's where.
That's something that I'm going to actually try next time in
Yeah, no, like
pension insurance.
I've like I emailed like I've actually like I got so angry about this that I've actually emailed the consumer company that round insurance, and I've sent it like an angry letter saying like this is disgraceful, that, and I put all that like I've been given ridiculously quotes by several insurance companies, but like at the end of the day they're just going to turn around and go it's his car. And like I would have to, you'd have to have evidence based off that. Like maybe put in your details, put female instead of male, and then when they get back to you, go, oh, I actually just looked through it real quickly there, and I accidentally put down that I was a female. But if the computer doesn't cop that your name's a lad, then what you call it, the person who's ringing you probably will copy it. That's their lad and probably change the quote or whatever. Like you'd have to have a unisex name, like Carl or something like that, or Tony.
Yeah, or you could just tell them that they're assuming your gender.
Yeah, exactly. Or put down a girl's name and go, oh, I just left out 2 critical pieces of information there that I can change. They're like, yeah, sure, no worries. What is it? Yeah, one of my name's like Ken, and 2 I'm a lad. And if they change their code, then you go, okay, well this call is recorded, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You might be able to get them then, but like, yeah, it's you're going, like I said, you're going to be into a hassle, and that's why a person was banned for like not being happy enough, is it?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, no, but like, yeah, it's okay. If we get back on talk about hair, do you think like being like a negative is enough a reason not to get a job?
No.
So you think like if you're a negative person, you still should be able to apply?
Well, like that would come down to like your personality or like whatever. So like you could still be extremely good at your job.
Yeah, well, if you're a receptionist, so yeah, like if you're a receptionist who have to greet people, but you're a bit like sarcastic to them, or you're a little bit rude to them. That like your job is to be polite to your customers. Your job is try to retain as many people as possible. So if you're not doing your job right, which is being polite, so obviously a person who might be negative or might give off negative tones, that's them not doing their job right. So it is.
Yeah, but that's more to do though with not being professional.
Yeah, well,
like being negative.
Well, if you're negative in your job, like if your demeanor looks negative, if you're kind of like implies that you're negative, like you just don't want to be there. Like, this is my job, hate my job.
I would count that though just as more just being just unfucking professional.
Yeah.
You could be extremely like negative and cynical person, but like be a great preschool teacher.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, but like if you're right, that takes it.
I just said preschool teacher because they're I'm assuming they're always really kind of like happy with kids.
Yeah, but like
just in case somebody listening is like, that's a bit of a weird analogy.
But yeah, but like if you're able to turn off your cynicalism, like if you're very cynical towards the kids, like if you're like, oh yeah, that's not great, you didn't even colour inside lines. Or is it, oh, miss, I finished my, or mister, I finished my, or sir, I guess it would be, I finished my, my colour, and you're like, oh, great, go do some more. Like, you're not, like, obviously, for a preschool teacher, you don't want to be given, like, constant encouragement and validation to whatever shite they're doing. So you want to be like, if you're constantly negative, if you're a negative person, then you're going to be a shit preschool teacher.
Yeah, but that was just like an example. But like with anything, like you could be a negative person and still be like,
you can be a negative person outside work, but you need to be able to turn it off.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you just have to be professional.
Yeah, but like obviously that's what the job's saying. Like if you're going to come to work and be negative, we don't want you to apply because we need a positive person. And
yeah, like I don't think the job ad means like, oh, if you're a person who suffers from depression or something, who like goes through spells where you're extremely unhappy, we can't hire you.
yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
literally like when you come to work, you need to like, be friendly.
Yeah, a part of your job criteria, it means you have to have some form of people skills.
Yeah, because like obviously hairdressers and barbers are always like chatting shite.
Yeah, well, something like I think barbers will sense their customer. Like if their customer is chatty, they'll chat, and if they're like, I get my hair cut by a guy, and he might talk at the start. He might say, "Oh, any plans?" or
Yeah,
but then he just quiet and just gets on with his job.
yeah. I think that like the chatty part of it and the friendly part and the happy part is more, I'd say, for like hairdressers with like women.
Yeah, like
Because I don't feel like men really like women in a hairdresser. You're going to spend a lot more time there than a man.
yeah.
Like a man's going to go in and get his hair cut within about fucking 10 minutes, but a woman's going to be in there for like an hour.
It's a half an hour to get a cut most places. You're going in there.
Yeah, they're going to like a woman's still going to be in there longer than you.
But yeah, I definitely I do see like obviously I've literally just after barber, so like, it's fresh in my head what barbers are like. But
Yeah,
like,
I haven't gone in years.
yeah, so like I think like some barbers are really chatty, and then some like I think I remember talking to my sister who's a beauty therapist, and she says well, sometimes she kind of doesn't like them chatting too much. You don't want to be awkward, but like. It takes you longer to actually do the job if you're constantly talking, and there's parts of it where you really need to concentrate. So like that, like if I'm in a chair, like and he makes conversation, I'll chat away, but like I kind of feel like almost interrupting him trying to concentrate on him. I'm kind of like I'll just let him do his job, kind of a thing. So I don't really talk too much if I'm getting my hair cut. It's like if they want to chat, fair enough, but like yeah, I do think it is one of those jobs where you do need to be personable. Like I think if you work behind a till, you can get away with being miserable as whatever. Like people just expect people who work behind tills to be weird anyway. So you can be whatever you want behind a till because it's like people are there to buy food and leave. They need food, so they're going to come again because this is a place where you get food. But if you work like preschool, or if you work somewhere else,
generally in a shop though, you're the way that the staff are going to interact with you depends entirely on you.
Yeah, I'd say that is very much the case.
Like 100%. Like there's some customers that you're going to be like, yeah, I don't mind this person, and maybe they can't find something, and you're going to go, oh, you know what, I'm going to go and check and see if we have any of it at the back for you or whatever. And then there's some customers that are like dicks, so you're like. And then they're like, can you not go check for it? And you're like, okay. And you go for a piss and you come back and say, nah, I don't have
it. Next time you're in a shop and that happens to you, do you just realise that person actually just went to the toilet or was this on Facebook for the last 10 minutes and couldn't find them?
Just think of your interaction leading up to it. Like, was it a positive one or a negative one? If it's a negative one, that person went for a piss.
That person was in the back on their phone and said, no, sorry, computer says no.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like I was going down to Clare and it was some supermarket that we pulled into to get bits. This guy, he'd scan the whatever item you're getting, and no matter what it was, he'd bring it back slightly and then throw it down the ramp to the point where one of the items that like my friend got was like eggs, and it's like thought the eggs nearly broke. He got it and just flung it. I was like, what the fucking hell is wrong with this lad? But I was like, and my friend's like, your man was really weird. And I said, he works on a till. Of course he's weird. But like he get away with it. No matter, like, people are still going to go to that store no matter how many times he does that, because you know what, they need food.
Yeah.
We should get onto our idiots news. This will be the part where the theme song comes in, there's music going, they're like, yeah. So basically, for people who are new to our show, what idiots news is, it's news for idiots by idiots and contains people being stupid.
Yeah.
So that's basically, in summary, of what our idiots news. And we're going to start off, and it kind of consists quite heavily of gender reveal parties. Ken, do you know what a gender reveal party is?
I do.
All right. So for people who...
It's like public exposure, right?
Public exposure. No.
How else do you reveal your gender?
I think public indecency is what you're thinking about.
Yeah, public exposure.
Exposure. So what gender reveal is where people reveal the gender of their babies, which kind of pisses off people of the trans community who are saying that you're presuming your child's gender, and people who are from the feminist community, which are saying that you're reinforcing gender stereotypes by using light blue and pink. So it kind of pisses off people from like all angles. People think that they're over the top, attention seeking assholes. Other people think that they're infringing on people's genders and sexisms, all that. So it pisses off a wide range of people.
Why can't people fuck off and leave people alone? Like, if you want to follow the laws of science and say, you know what, my kid, the little scan of my kid says my kid has a fucking dick, so I'm going to have a gender reveal party and tell everybody my kid's going to be a boy. Why can't people just go, oh, fair enough?
I don't know. People believe in nonsense, to be honest with you. And this is not why we're giving out gender reveal parties, by the way. In California,
that's why I'm giving out.
Yeah, in California, there has been a fire that burnt over 10,000 acres, 2.3 miles of grassland, because of a gender reveal party.
How did that happen?
So basically, what they were meant to do was they use a smoke generating machine, and it was meant to puff out either pink smoke if it's a girl, blue smoke if it's a boy, and the whole thing kind of went sideways when instead of that, it's to start sparking and cause a bit of a forest fire.
Why was it in a forest to begin with?
It didn't actually happen in a forest. It happened in West California. This was in El Dorado. Now, it was actually linked to another forest fire that took the lives of 14 people, but it wasn't actually true. It wasn't the same thing. There's just like a lot of like forest fires, but this was like 10,000 acres or 2.3 miles like of forest fire was burnt because of this gender reveal party.
Now, what I want to know is where was the party in somebody's house?
Oh, it was on top of a hill. Like I did see a photo of the two of them, and there's the smoke was like this box. The machine was like this box, and it was just behind them. And what lad was in like a shirt, like a summery shirt. The girl was like in a summer's dress, and like you could see like smoke coming out of the back of it, and then it sparked. And obviously there was grass on the ground, so obviously it was quite dry. The grass just took a light. I don't think nobody was hurt during this blaze.
And like, how did it get that bad that it's after like fucking burning the shite out of everything?
Oh, because everything's dry and then the wind catches it, so it takes like a spark and sends it down the air that catches some dry, and everything goes up. Which, like, maybe you also think, like, in Ireland, we were not allowed to have fireworks because, like, they thought we were going to make bombs out of them and, like, plant bombs because, like, the IRA and all that. I really don't think there's parts of America that shouldn't have fireworks. Anywhere is like, that's really, really dry. Or there should be like seasons where you shouldn't be let off fireworks, because so many fucking like forest fires happen because of fireworks. Now, in this occasion, like there wasn't anybody that died, but at least one person has lost their life because of gender reveal party. And this happened like last year, where a person trying to reveal their sex of an unborn child and accidentally created a pipe bomb.
How the fuck do you do that?
It was meant to be like this firework thing that goes off with the blue fireworks and pink fireworks. If his boy malfunctioned and they accidentally created a pipe bomb, kind of just blew up.
Okay, now I figured out my problem with gender reveal parties. My problem is, why can't people go to like professional places to get these things done?
I don't know.
Why do you have some homemade contraption shite that's going to like blow your fucking family up?
And then there was another one, like a father to be caused 47,000 acre wildfire in Arizona when he shot a rifle at an explosive target, to reveal that he had a baby boy.
Yeah.
This caused 8.2 million worth of damages in Arizona. That's another one. So like that one destroyed 47,000 acres of in Arizona because of this.
Yeah, people should think of these things before they do them.
Well, like I said, like in Ireland, we're not allowed fireworks. There's some reason I thought, like when I was growing up as a kid, I was like, why aren't we allowed fireworks? Like they're safe enough. Okay, every now and again someone blows off their hands, but instead of like banning them, if you just like set out precautions of how you properly like secure a firework, that like you can do it safely, and you don't let kids near fireworks, and you don't hold the firework in like your hand. Do you ever see all those videos of like someone holding it in their mouth and then the rocket goes off and all the sparks go into their face?
When I was in school, they used to like fire fireworks down the fucking hallways at people.
Yeah, like I remember people having repeater battles where they get, you know, those repeaters and they aim it at one another. So people do dumb shits with fireworks. Like they are dangerous, especially around idiots.
Yeah, but I think that's less likely to happen if you're allowed legally buy fireworks.
I think it'll still happen. Like, well, I think it's very...
Yeah, but, you know, like, it won't happen. Like, it's the same people doing the same shit with them every fucking year. It won't happen as much because you'll be sick of them.
Well, look at this family who obviously bought fireworks and accidentally built a pipe bomb.
Yeah.
And, like, killed one of their family members because they they obviously assembled it wrong and caused a massive explosion. Or like, I think, especially, I know, like, fireworks is, like, so closely tied with, like, freedom and, like, celebrating 4th of July that fireworks are never, ever going to be banned in America.
Yeah, but like, some American fireworks are basically just bombs.
You can actually get C4. You can actually get as powerful as BC4, but like the thing is, like California, especially around like California, where it's so dry, and there's so much like woodland there that like the littlest spark could set off a forest fire, and you're shooting rockets into the air, and you're having all these fucking celebrations, and you're wondering like 47,000 acres of a wildfire caused 8.2 million worth of damage, and people are like, yeah, well, fireworks should still be a thing. That's only one incident, but it happened like twice or 3 times.
That's not enough, though.
Yeah, but like, like I think gender reveal parties are a little bit stupid anyway. Like, no one cares what the fucking if your baby's boy or girl. Like,
yeah, but at the same time, I think like if gender reveal party's your thing, off you go, do it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Don't bring explosions into it, though.
Yeah, like just don't do something fucking ridiculously unsafe for it.
Yeah, like I think there was another one with a crocodile, and like.
Yeah, you see, these people shouldn't be fucking
parents.
Like, if you're announcing gender of your baby by fucking around with a crocodile.
I think it was like the crocodile was meant to either bite a blue balloon or pink balloon. I don't know what the idea of a crocodile was.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
If you're not smart enough to take care of yourself.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. This should be really an IQ test if you should be an actual parent. Like, like firstly, gender reveal parties were a cake. And what they started out was a cake where either
the inside of it was blue or pink.
Yeah, exactly, and that's meant to reveal it. And then so somebody had the idea, well, if you can do a cake, you can do a firework. And there was this like one-upmanship of who can do this most spectacular thing to get the most many likes on social media.
Like, I have seen it done with, you know, those massive party popper things.
Yeah.
Where the inside of it, like, it's all like blue or pink confetti or whatever. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, I've seen one of people trying to hit like baseball bats with they're like this balloon, and it pops and it has like this powder in it, and it's meant to be like either pink or blue. And I've seen like people trying to hit the balloon, then the balloon like goes loose, it goes into the air because there's a bit of helium in it, and they lose the balloon. So you should probably have a backup one. And there's another one where I think it was like baseball, and he was like trying to. They threw up the baseball. Your man's meant to hit the baseball and explodes, and it's either gonna be pink or blue. but your man keeps missing the baseball. So it's kind of hilarious. But also hilarious is our next story on our Idiots News, and there's a woman who's married to a tree. Not only that is she married to a tree, she's celebrating her first year's anniversary to her husband, I guess.
Like, how do you marry a tree?
Find a priest, get the tree to say I do, and you're halfway there.
What?
So last year, a Merseyside woman, mother of two, married an elder tree that she met in a national park. Kate is her name.
Is she a gold digger?
Well, the tree isn't like where I wouldn't say we have too much money.
But it's an elder tree. Like why didn't you go for a younger tree?
I think it's elder is the type of tree. No, like it's not like it's older, and it looks kind of old now. In fairness to it, but like,
yeah, it's okay. Just shit all over the joke, Mark.
Okay. It was a shit joke to begin with. In fairness, like.
Yeah, well, it is a Shite Talk podcast.
Fair enough. I'm sorry, Ken. Then. Yeah, she's 38. Kate is her name.
38 as well. She should definitely know better now than this crack.
Her children are human. They aren't little bonsais.
Her children aren't like fucking rose bushes.
Yeah, they're not bonsais. That's how you make a tree joke right there, by the way. Yeah, she also has a boyfriend.
And the tree. So she's married to the tree.
But she has a human. She has a human boyfriend. Yeah.
What does the tree make of this?
I don't know. He must be very easygoing.
I suppose poor old tree is hardly going to look for a divorce, is he?
Yeah, exactly, because that involves paper, and he probably wants to avoid paperwork.
Like,
obviously, because there's the murder of like other trees.
How did the tree? How did the tree consent to being married?
I don't think it did. I think this is a forced marriage, is what we're witnessing.
It's a forced marriage then. I want to know more about this relationship with the tree.
Basically said she met the tree when she was going. She went to this national park and she was walking around, and she said the elder tree stuck out to her, different to any other trees, and she was just kind of drawn to it. So
she did what?
She decided that
she married it.
She decided to marry back in 2019 in September last year. She had a ceremony which had a olive dress with floral designs, and it had about a dozen people at the event. I wonder if her boyfriend was invited. I wouldn't say he was. Like I just wonder like how her boyfriend feels. Like, oh yeah, I'm going out with this girl. She's married to a tree. Yeah, but it's all cool. I just get to sleep with her.
Like, I wonder, did she send out the invitations for the wedding on paper?
I'd imagine it'd have to be email. After the wedding...
Did she sign a marriage license on paper?
Yeah, she would have had... Yeah, exactly. Like, in order for that tree to consent, it would have to willingly sign the paper to say, I, tree, agree to marry Kate, human. She changed her name to Elder. As well, so her new name is now Kate Elder. That's she's given herself, by the way.
Like, what is going on?
She visits the tree about 5 times a week as well, and she climbs it, looks out into like whatever kind of her surroundings, and she just sits with the tree, her husband.
That's very strange. Like, I know when we were talking about the gender reveal thing, I said leave people alone. If they want to let them do whatever they want. But this woman clearly has issues.
I think we need to talk about consent here.
Yeah, to start with.
In order, and this is a life advice for everybody. This is where, like, imagine me sitting you down, going, son or daughter, or you have to ask a person consent to marry them. You cannot presume you are married to a person, no matter if they're at the wedding. That if they don't say I do, I don't think you legally can say you're married to them.
Like any interaction you have with another human being requires some form of consent. Definitely to marry. I was going to say somebody, but something.
They have
You need some sort of consent to get married.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally the first thing they ask you when you get married. Like, are you here of your own free will?
You hear? I wonder how many people nervously say yes. Yeah, yes. Because if I was ever getting married, I'd pretend like this. I am not there on my own free will. I'd be like, have help written on my hand. Just to
Pass
see,
the priest a note. Help.
help. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I am. just giant words. Help. Yeah, exactly. So, like, I don't know, if, like, and how did they consummate this marriage as well?
Yeah, that like, because no matter what she did there, that's rape.
100% rape.
There's like no way that a tree was consenting to any sort of intimacy.
And bad place to get a splinter if she did. I imagine quite painful. You have your own idiot's news story as well, involving customs in the United States.
Yeah, so in New York, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency recently tweeted about 2,000 counterfeit Apple AirPods that they seized, valued at $398,000 if they had been genuine. And when they posted these photos on Twitter about it and stuff, people were quick to point out that they're not actually Apple products. They're made by a company called OnePlus. They are branded as OnePlus. They are a genuine product. Best part of the whole thing is that OnePlus actually they replied to Border Protection Agency, and they said, "Hey, give those back."
So, like, obviously, Apple kind of licensed out the making of their products that people can buy Apple products, but made by, like, I think I use like eyewear or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're like they make Apple products, but they're a little bit cheaper because they don't have the Apple logo on them.
Yeah, like I used to use charger cables from iConnect.
Yeah, that's probably the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, and like generally they work just as good on Apple products as the original things.
Yeah,
For
so
Apple,
you can't really
yeah, because there's no really
mess
wiggle
around
room.
with
But
it.
yeah, exactly. This Apple is so tightly controlled the price of it that, like, you're not going to be either ripped off for Apple products, but you're not going to get a bargain for Apple products either.
Yeah.
So it's kind of shit like that. I wonder, like, where, like, AirPods for, like, were they from the company? The company was obviously bringing in stock or shipping around stock, or were they, like, just ones that a store was waiting on?
Well, like 2,000 of them, so I'd say the company were bringing them in themselves.
Yeah, obviously they made them in China, and then they're like came through like traditional post.
Yeah, it came through. It got stopped in JFK Airport, so like it obviously came in through on a flight or whatever, and they were like, "Oh, somebody's got like 2,000 fake Apple AirPods. That's a bit suspicious."
It would be like a commercial invoice. I would say iConnect, or the name of the company would say, and it has quantity of the what's inside. They'd have all the details on the form. Would usually be on the outside of, like, whatever package you're bringing in. It'd have what's in it and, like, basically where it's going, who's the destinating distributor. It wouldn't be like 2,000 AirPods to Mick down the road, you know. Surely you'd have a company's name on it. Like, they're not great at their job.
That was the part that had me kind of confused as well. Like, surely it's because like if something comes in, do you ever watch that Stop Search Siege program?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Dave has a Australian Border Force.
Yeah, like there's an Irish one as well, like called Stop Search Siege.
Yeah.
So like if something comes into Dublin that looks counterfeit, but it's high quality counterfeit. So like I'm assuming when they looked at this and they thought, oh, these are fake, they would have been like, oh, but they're fairly high quality fakes.
Yeah.
Generally what they do is they take photos and they send it to the license owner. So like they would have taken photos and sent it to Apple and been like, here, what's the crack with these? Before we release these to the person they're supposed to go to, do they look genuine to you? Is this a real company that you deal with?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. And then Apple would say, oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we deal with them.
Yeah, we know iConnect, or we know, their license.
Yeah, like, that's what happens here. Clearly not in the States, though.
I imagine something similar did, but obviously maybe they were so sure that they found counterfeits. They're like, oh yeah, these are really cheaply made. These are like very poor quality, and then they're like, nope, they're legit.
Yeah, they're definitely real.
They're just branded differently. Everything else is the same. Apple technology. Yeah. So yeah, that was our counterfeit Apple story, and obviously the people who bit of egg on their face.
Oh, definitely.
However,
imagine doing that.
In fairness, the only time where I remember I was walking around thinking I got a bargain for like a T-shirt, and someone pointed out like 2 years after, and like I used to always go, how much I bargained this person down for this, and I was like, yeah, it's like a really good quality. They're like, do you realize that? He goes, yeah, it's a good knockoff. And I go, it's not a real jersey, and they're like, no, it's definitely not a real jersey. It's like, oh. I thought it was legit, and they're like, no, it's a nice knockoff. And I was like, all right, fair enough. Then I go, oh, I paid for it.
If it's a good quality fake, like, that's grand.
Yeah, exactly. It's like sunglasses. They're pretty much the same thing.
You're gonna do the same fucking thing.
We need to talk about the power of attraction, though.
Do we really?
Well, that's it's in our segment to talk about the power of attraction.
All right, go on.
All right, so can you know what the power of attraction is?
Yeah, rough idea on it.
All right, do you believe in the power of attraction?
Not particularly.
So for people who don't know what the power of attraction is the law of attraction is the belief that positive or negative thoughts bring positive or negative experiences into a person's life. The belief is based around the idea that people and their thoughts are made of pure energy. The process of like energy attracts like energy. Basically, if more person is positive, more positive things will happen. More person has negative thoughts, negative things will happen to them. And there's kind of pros and cons of this. So, this leads to people believing that their health, wealth, personal relationships are all a result of their energy, either if it's positive or negative. So if you have poor health, it's because you have poor energy and you have negative thoughts, and that's why you're sick. Same with wealth, and same with your relationship. You're constantly in toxic relationships is because it's your fault.
Isn't that what Noel Edmonds said about
cancer patients? Yeah. So like yeah. So this is like, I had this on like the cons of this the bad parts of this. So yeah, obviously this can have quite a disgusting side to this, where you're blaming people who get cancer, which is like completely out of their control, on their negative energy and their negative emotions, and that they've willed cancer on themselves. Cancer is out of your control. It isn't because you are negative that you've got cancer. And people who obviously criticize people who are ill of being negative, and that's the reason it's quite disgusting.
Yeah, like, it's in that way. I don't fucking really go along with the whole law of attraction thing at all. To say that because somebody is negative, that's why you've got cancer, or why you've gotten fucking whatever, why you had a heart attack, why you've fucking whatever, like, that's just nonsense.
Yeah, no, like, obviously, to do stuff like what Noel Fielding did was disgusting. Now, there are quite a lot of like really successful people who believe in the law of attraction, like Conor McGregor, Jim Carrey, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jay-Z, Oprah, Will Smith, and Ronda Rousey, just to name a few of people who have used or have claimed to use the power of attraction to achieve their goals and dreams and get to the height of success that they've all done. Everyone there is very, very successful of what they did.
Yeah.
And like have achieved some incredible things. Like Ronda Rousey, for instance, she had said that she was going to be a UFC champion before there was a female division in the UFC. And not only that, Dana White had said that under no circumstances would women ever fight in the UFC. She managed to change Dana White's mind. Now, she also had said that she was going to be a WWE women's champion and a professional boxer. So and the highest paid actor. So like she had a semi-successful acting career. She was in a few fairly big movies. She's a former WWE champion. But she never achieved the boxing. Obviously, and you've seen Amanda Nunes and Holly Holmes fight, probably that dashed any dreams of being a professional boxer after those two fights.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor said before he came into the UFC that he's going to be a two-weight champion. At the time, the UFC once again had banned any cross division. If you wanted to go up to a division and claim a title, you had to leave your other one behind. Conor McGregor pretty much changed that and became the first ever two-weight champion. Other like Jay-Z, Oprah, obviously achieved massive successes. Now, Conor McGregor, he did always say this, but like I wouldn't say it was his willpower. Like both Ronda Rousey and Conor McGregor are very charismatic people who know how to market themselves. I reckon that's a little bit more to do with their success, or them believing in themselves.
Both of them are extremely smart. Like the two of them, like you said, were really good at marketing themselves, really good at like getting kind of a unique selling point for themselves and becoming popular.
Yeah. Like I remember there's a saying where it goes like if you surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you'll be the sixth. And if you surround yourself with 5 geniuses, you'll be the sixth. If you surround yourself with 5 idiots, you'll be the sixth.
Yeah,
like that kind of thing. And like if you're constantly around negative people who are, oh, what's the point, or everything shit, and input is being all your kind of input on a daily basis is around negative people, then of course you're going to have negative thoughts, and there might be an opportunity that might slip you by because you just didn't go for it, or you think, oh, it'll never work. Like people who try, like, okay, percentage of them might fail, but people who never try, 100% of them always fail.
Yeah.
So obviously, if this positive thinking just allows you to go out and attempt it, then that is a positive thing on a person. It just gives people a belief to try and make whatever they want to try and make a success, and believe that believe in themselves a little bit more. Then obviously you've better chance of it working than you believing that you'll never do it.
Yeah, like that's the thing that holds most people back, is the fear of failure.
Yeah, exactly. But like I do also think, like, on the other side of that, if you believe that it's all to do with just energy alone, and that you just put it out into the universe and saying, I'll be rich, you're never going to be rich. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you look up Arnold Schwarzenegger motivational speak, my God, he is some man. Like, he is incredible human being. Like, when he was coming up, he was working 40 hours in a construction site. He was studying acting while preparing for Mr. Olympia, doing bodybuilding.
Yeah.
He only ever slept 6 hours a night, and after that would just work constantly. Like, worked 40 hours while putting himself through a full-time college course and preparing to be Mr. Olympia. Like, that's an incredible amount of effort to put yourself through. It wasn't like Arnold Schwarzenegger had a diary and wrote down, I'm going to be Mr. Olympia, I'm going to be the governor of California, and just sat in his hole. He actually put in a huge amount of effort. And I think if you believe in yourself, or if you are putting it out there to the universe, but you're not putting in the work effort, then it's not going to succeed. I think more important than anything else, this power of attraction is the power of actually getting up off your lazy arse and actually grinding.
Yeah, like 2 other examples of that are The Rock and Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
like Sylvester Stallone was homeless until he wrote, was it Rambo?
No, it was Rocky.
Was it Rocky?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
like
Rocky.
he was homeless till he wrote that, and The Rock was living in a fucking car, getting paid $15 a day to wrestle.
Yeah, exactly. And there's The Rock is a huge success. So is Sylvester Stallone. How many wrestlers die living in a car?
Yeah,
How many wrestlers never make it? Like, for instance, the book The Secret, which is the biggest selling book on the law of attraction, sold 30 million copies. There isn't 30 million success stories out there.
no,
It isn't like people read this book and have like magically turned their life around. Like, you're gonna have like a percentage of like people who are succeed or people who are failure. I think the people who succeed are people who generally put in really, really hard work, and obviously there's people who put it, like, have got really, really bad. Like, a lot of successful people were like living on the bare minimum, like really before they made it. Like Conor McGregor was on welfare. Like you said, The Rock was living in a car. There was like, he was basically homeless, and there's like obviously so many other success stories like this. Like, I remember Dana White saying that he wanted to be a professional boxer, and seeing like a guy who was like a local pro and a local name, and he was a little bit punch drunk, late 30s, early 40s, and he was in the gym, he was sitting in the back, and he looked at him and he go, I'll never be him. I'll never be that guy who is 40 or late 30s and just never made it. Like, and he knew at that point he'll never be a successful boxer, because if he wasn't willing to be that guy in that gym, that 35 older punch drunk guy, then you'd also never be successful, because the people have that much belief in themselves that like they're willing to like go through all that to be that person who's on the like poverty line, and they just believe so much in themselves that they'll make it. But there's a huge percentage of people that don't make it. Like, I think like there's some great success stories. We only hear about them because they're successful. We don't hear about the people that don't make it.
Yeah, and then there's also like the success story that then reverts back to a fucking disaster.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people who make it, but then like their life falls to shite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like obviously anything like this. I remember there's another one, the chaos theory. Have you ever heard of the chaos theory?
Yeah.
So for people who haven't heard of the chaos theory is it's like basically about this like captain of a ship who burnt all his ships on an island, and there's different ones that it was like this battle, this army that they were on to meet, but they burned all the ships so they couldn't escape, so it forced them to either win or survive. And there's another one about either like they're on this deserted island, and he decided like this was going to be their home, so they burned all the ships, and they transformed this island into their kingdom. I was using Game of Thrones, but like that's the chaos theory, that like you pick what you want and you cut off all other supports and rely solely on what you want in order to make it being. But the thing is like that, if you don't plan like that, if you wake up, let's say like it's podcasting, if you wake up tomorrow and go, I'm going to be a podcaster, you quit your job and you focus all your time as a podcaster, more than likely you'll go poor. Whereas if you like, okay, I'm going to try this, so I'm going to save enough money so I can support myself for a year, and I'm going to give myself a year to try to be a podcaster, and then like you're able to like fund yourself, you're able to like afford to like buy food, like keep the electricity running, then you might succeed, you might not.
Yeah.
So like, but you have to put things in place. You have to have a strategy in place. Same with like the law of attraction. Like, I don't care about what kind of positive emotions you have towards them. I don't care about how much of a positive person you are. If you don't have the work ethic, then you're never going to be like, never really going to make it. And you also, obviously that belief, like when things get bad, that you can turn it around is important. But like, it isn't the reason why you're successful. It's part of the reason why you're successful.
Yeah, like you have to. It's basically about how much you're willing to graft.
Yeah, exactly. Like every single one of those people that we mentioned, Jay-Z, Oprah, Will Smith, Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor, Jim Carrey, Arnold Schwarzenegger, have an insane work ethic.
Yeah,
None of them are lazy. None of them are like sitting at their home, playing their PlayStation, scratching themselves. They're all out working. They're all working crazy hours.
Yeah.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like I said, 40 hours construction work, trained 3 times a day. Also did acting.
Do you ever see that the meme thing where it's like it's an iceberg?
Yeah, and people only see the tip, the success.
Yeah, you only see the success part. You don't see all the shit that it took to get there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I remember there's a picture of like Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and it shows him. He has like a drawn out Amazon sign that he made himself, and he's in this shitty little office, and he's typing away on like on a computer, working away on a computer, and then look at Amazon now.
Yeah, like that's not because he was writing down, "I want lots of money."
Yeah, so in terms of like The Secret, I think there's elements of it that's bullshit. The like energy part, like positive energy attracts positive outcomes. That's kind of bullshit in the sense that it's energy causing that. But obviously, if you don't believe in yourself and you don't actually ever try, then you'll never succeed. I think it's just parts of it, even though like it's based on bullshit science. There's a part of it that actually is true. That like obviously, if you don't actually try, you won't succeed. If you don't believe in yourself, then no one else will. Like Conor McGregor willed people to believe in him by being so like. He said he was going to take over the boxing game. There's people who honestly thought he was going to beat the best boxer in the world. Like, incredible amount of people actually thought he was going to... And that was based off his belief in himself.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's...
Like, okay, the law of attraction, I wouldn't say put your faith in it. Fully believe in the law of attraction, go out and buy The Secret, and then put things to work. But I do think, obviously, be a little bit positive and graft like a motherfucker. I think it would be a better kind of like, if you are giving like life advice to people, it'd be like graft like a motherfucker and believe in yourself. But like the work ethic is just as important as anything else. Yeah,
like the work ethic is the most important part.
Yeah, the believe in yourself. Yeah, that will come along. Like obviously you have to, like, if you're going to work that hard, you're going to believe in yourself because you see the hard work you put yourself in.
Yeah, and you're going to get gradually better and better and better at it, and eventually you're going to be like, your confidence is going to grow the better you get at whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll start to see, eventually you'll start to see like at the end of the tunnel, you'll start working for it. I think that'll be our show today. I think it's a positive end of our show. We've not only,
for once,
we slated the book, but we did it in such a positive way that I think people are going to take, yes, we can do it. The Shite Podcast show is right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yay.
Yay. We're a little bit over our time, but do you know what? You got a little bit extra from the podcast this week.
Jam-packed.
Jam-packed, like we said. We got through everything we were meant to. We'll have a fresh show for you next week on our 160th show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to do it. It's not our special 204th, but
no.
We'll bring the same amount of shite effort that we do as we do every week.
And we'll continue to work on some sort of nice thing for 204.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll talk to you next week.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Shut up and sit down.